Before we get into the Daniel Jeremiah mock draft, we have an update for you. We've passed the next one. This video, by the way, aired first on the Draft channel, not the Zikria Sports side, so if you want more draft coverage all for free, hit that sub button. Right now, I always like Daniel Jeremiah mock drafts because they're normally a little bit, and he's got Abdul Carter #1. Now, as a reminder, DJ bases his mock drafts on what he's hearing around the league, the top prospects, or what he thinks it should be, not what he thinks it will be. So Carter goes, #1, citing the Chad Brinker, comments about passing up or not passing up on a generational talent, so no quarterback. #1, Tennessee gets the elite edge rusher, and then Cleveland also passes on a quarterback. He's going Travis Hunter. Now of note, DJ likes Hunter. MO is a receiver who moonlights on defense. Maybe it's like 65-35, preferred defense versus offense. But that's going to be a long, in-depth conversation. So it's the quote-unquote top 2 players off the board, #1, #2, that leaves the Giants. They get their pick of the quarterbacks, and they take Cam Ward, who I do think fits pretty well with what Brian Dable wants to do on offense, the guns, slinger, strong arm, the mobility, maybe some questionable decision making. But Ward does fit, I think, pretty well. Then it's Will Campbell, who DJ calls a safe player, which always worries me because when it's the safe player, I'm just triggered by Aaron Curry not being a very safe player all those years ago out of Wake Forest, but protecting Drake May is a must for New England. With Trent Baalke out, the Jags can now take Michigan players again. I'm not even kidding about that. There's real evidence there. Mason Graham, the Michigan defensive tackle, great quickness, good contact play, I think reminds me of Carlos Watkins a lot. Jags do need defensive tackle help. That leaves the Raiders to get Shador Sanders, who of course is fairly tight with Tom Brady, falls down the #6, quote-unquote. Falls in this mock draft here. Raiders get their franchise quarterback to help out. Pete Carroll, at least for the short term. Who do you think should be the #1 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft? Let me know in the comments section of today's show, the pin comment, actually. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. DJ's a big fan of Tyler Warren, who's called him one of his favorite players in the draft. I think he can help the run game. Help the passing game a lot. Jets are kind of in a weird spot as they embrace a little bit of a rebuild. Would be not worthy of Aaron Glenn, defense guy. Get an offensive player in the first round. Panthers get a #1 wide receiver. T. McMillan, a big body on the outside side, got some T. Higgins to his game. He goes #8, Michael Williams of the Georgia Edge, the Saints at #9 overall. He was banged up a lot this year with this Trayvon Walker, just like really gifted athletic ability, despite the production not being quite as good. And then maybe your first true stunner, Tyler Booker, the Bama offensive guard, goes #10 here. He is a powerful player, would help protect the interior of the offensive line. And we did see the Lions. Not that Ben Johnson was making the call invest in offensive linemen, and sometimes surprise picks in the first round, back-to-back likely interior offensive linemen. I love DJ's comp for Armand Mew, by the way. Had him as Elijah Vera Tucker. I like that tackle who can play guard, but there's probably going to be a guard at the best in the NFL, but has also played tackle at Missouri. The Niners need investments on the offensive line. That one you might see a lot of as we move forward in mock drafts. Not a surprise of Ashton Genty going to the Dallas Cowboys here. You know, Brian Scheimer statistically does like to run the football quite a bit. If he gets to 12, I don't think many would be surprised by that. One number, 13, Kelvin Banks. So I think what Steve Sarkisian does on offense is the closest thing there is, I would argue, to what Mike McDaniel does on offense with the motion, the quick passing game. So I do think whether it's guard or tackle, for the Dolphins, they have invested in tackles recently too. This does, I think, fit pretty well and helps protect Titua, which we know is a very, very big deal. More picks to come. But first, today's show is made possible by Game Time. Game Time's got a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets for events even easier. It filters out the fluff to only show you the incredible deals on great seats to waste time, search through thousands of different tickets. Now, maybe the big game is a little bit too expensive for you. That's perfectly fine. There are basketball games, there's college basketball games, there's concerts, comedy theater, and more. Keep an eye out for the super deal. It is the best value for that particular event.